All right.
Oh, God.
Welcome back to your mom's favorite show about your favorite movies. This is Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. All right. Is that from work? Is that fresh from work? Okay.
Josh's juice.
I like that. I'm going Strongbow today. Local cider. Well, local is in England, but England's an island that's small.
England's an island. England's an island.
I've got Barbie water.
Barbed water.
Boy.
What is that, like a Manhattan? Is that what you're having over there? All right, so speaking of Manhattan, we have an actress that just wants to be famous in our Butter on Top this week, and she is an adult film actress. And I'm really hoping this completes the trilogy. I'm really hoping this completes the trilogy.
But then what else is she going to do?
We've got Maxxxine as our Butter on Top. And Jordan, you were supremely disappointed. You went with a guest. I went with a guest. And this isn't a horror movie. It's not a slasher movie. It's like almost noir, but not really.
Fake noir?
It's almost like a parody of many different horror genres that tries to be, as Josh would put it, what is it, meta? Where it's aware of that it's a movie, but it's kind of not.
No. Josh would call it Shakespearean.
Okay.
That's different, man. That's different, man.
Yeah, it's just a cameo fest kind of. We've all seen this kind of movie. It's just a movie that it didn't need to be made. The first movie in this series was really, really bad. I didn't even like the original one. So I really didn't want to watch Pearl up until I reviewed it 2-3 weeks ago for you guys. I watched that kind of begrudgingly, and I actually did like Pearl. It had redeemable qualities, but this movie was terrible. It was just a complete left and right turn from everything that you thought it could have, should have been. Lily Collins is in this. And her accent is where is she supposed to be from?
I don't know. It was
rough. The worst performance, and she is in this movie for a very short time. She had the worst performance in this movie.
Her eyebrows once again had the best performance of the whole film.
Yeah, I can only see her as Pamela Anderson now.
Stop.
The best scene in this whole movie, I think we both agree,
is
a man grotesquely and very. It's a man getting his ball squished by a high heel shoe.
Becomes a eunuch very quickly.
Yeah,
Makes me
it
very
happens.
uncomfortable.
It happens.
It happens. Wait, what? Where? But no, that is the best scene in the whole movie. That's literally the crescendo, and it happens 15 to 20 minutes into the film.
Yeah. It's just a lot of stuff that's just trying to make you uncomfortable or trying to cause shock and outrage. Kind of the whole movie. There's so many. It does it. Not really.
But no, I'm saying I didn't get that at all. Maybe they went for it, but I was kind of like, this all seems just kind of boring.
Yeah, it wanders. There's so many different directions that this movie is almost trying to lead you in. But then it pulls the sheet out, and it's just another layer of crap. This movie's a popcorn. It was terrible. I still like what's her face, Mia Goth.
Yeah,
she's
Mia Goth.
She's just very, very interesting.
You see her branching out career wise?
Do I see her?
Yeah, she could definitely play the what is it, the Bridgerton or Love and War type movies, right?
Yeah, I could even see her being a what is that? No. Who's Eon Flux?
Oh, you're
Charlize.
talking about
Charlize.
Charlize
I
Theron.
can see her doing like a Charlize Theron chick action film kind of.
That's what I was gonna say. I can see her. I haven't seen any of the movies. I've seen clips and just and I've seen her in interviews and a few things here and there, little bits. But like just the little bit I've seen of her, like I see action star somehow.
She's
some
got
sort
that
of
like
thing.
sci-fi eyebrowless future punk thing going on.
Laser rollerblades.
Right, like if Disney buys Collateral Damage, they'll definitely make it with a female lead, and she might have that.
Collateral Damage.
Sorry, dear audience, that is a South Park joke. That is watch South Park, you'll get the joke I just made.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
That is not my personal. But if it's a little inside, but if you see the episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what, Jordan? I really love the actor Bobby. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Cannavale? Is that how you pronounce his last name? Cannavale?
Cannavale? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what it sounds like. I really like him, and I really like that they, kind of break the fourth wall in his performance, where they're constantly saying like that he wanted to be an actor, and that's why he's overacting in the role consistently. It was good. We got Michelle Monaghan again. We have a little string of Michelle Monaghan, and here's some late breaking news. Halsey can kind of act, like a little bit. She can act a little bit. I was actually watching her, and I was like, you know what? I thought this was going to be a singer trying to act, and that's not what I'm getting. She's kind of strong. She
has the Gaga effect.
Yeah, she was good. That's what I can say. Like, she was good at her role. It was quick, but her lines were good. Her accent was good. I think she's originally from Michigan, and she has like this New York style accent almost. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what, Halsey, you're doing all right. We get a little Kevin Bacon doing terribly, which is always fun. Like, definitely pouring on the overacting, definitely giving us the bad Southern charm. Like, it was rough for Kevin Bacon, but he does better in our next review, or our review a little bit from now. It's a popcorn movie. It wasn't great, and I think maybe we spent too much time on it. Josh, you think you're going to catch this one?
I don't think so, honestly. I didn't watch any of the other ones. I've been interested in watching them, but I'm going to trust Jordan and trust you on this.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, you're a lifelong Kid Cudi fan, so I'm surprised that you.
But I'm quite aware that he can't act, even in the show that he painstakingly made for himself. And he was in a show called How to Make It in America, which was a decent show, but he was just in it. Like, also we have Kid Cudi. No one knows why, but he's there. It's like MGK in that Jamie Curtis movie. Machine Gun Kelly. Like Machine Gun Kelly was in that
part. What Jamie Lee Curtis movie? Are you
The
talking
one
about
with
the Bird Box?
With the pills, you bite the pill, you get powers.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Power?
Yeah, right. Like he was like, he's in the movie.
Power?
Yeah, something like that.
He was the fire guy.
Yeah.
It's Power,
Anyway.
right? Are you talking about Jamie Foxx?
That's what I meant to say. What did I say? Jamie Lee Curtis again?
I was like digging through my memory banks. I was like, what was he with
Again?
Yeah.
And you know why I said Bird Box? I thought you were mixing up Jamie Lee Curtis with Sandra Bullock. So I was like, is he trying to say Bird Box? Because MGK was in that.
I was like,
Jamie
Jamie Lee
Foxx.
Curtis was in Power?
What role did she play?
Yeah.
She was the black man.
She was the Nick Fury.
Right? So, Josh, so you're not going to see this one, but you did see our drunk classic. This is a noir. It's like the teenage noir. And what did you think?
Well, I said last week that I had not seen this, but upon like the first 3 seconds, I'm like, oh, I've seen this. Oh, yeah. But it did fall. It was like a dark time in my life where I forgot a lot of things because I was a very sad boy. So it was one of those movies I watched in that time period. So that's why I forgot about it. Wow, dude, this is the only drunk classic, even among the ones I've picked. I watched it immediately again. I rewatched it right away.
Right after? You watched it twice in a row?
I was like, run it back. Let's go. Mainly because I didn't understand everything, so I had to go back and turn on the subtitles so I could catch all the lingo.
Yeah.
I loved it, though.
I have that note. I was like, what is up with this slang? That's what I put.
Dude. Like it starts a little bit subtle. It's not subtle, but it starts a little bit subtle, and then eventually they're getting into like they're reading lines from a play, and it's a play in the 40s. You know what I mean? Like they're talking, see, I'll find the killer. I'll be the one that'll do it. You guys shove off, that kind of crap, newsboy stuff. But they do it in such a beautiful way. They make it. I think the setting, while it's a juxtaposition or whatever, it also emphasizes high school is way less important than we think it is when we're in high school, right? It's nothing. Like, it's not a big deal. But we make these interpersonal relationships and stuff that happen, the drama of high school. Sometimes you get yourself caught up in it. And this movie, like, really eats that up. It eats everything up. Like, I should be in the game. Nobody lets me play the game. And then everyone's got like their cliques. They talk about that, like Mean Girls style, but in a different way, of course. I love everything about it. And this is a great example of a movie that can, if you have a good script, you can make the setting anything. You know what I mean? You can make it. This could have been cartoon ponies, and it would still be a great movie. It would be a better movie. I don't know.
But if it was cartoon ponies, you would not have Megan Good absolutely crushing it.
Down.
She was diabolical.
Diabolical. I love this movie. I give this movie a popcorn and 3, and that's no joke. I watched it back to back. I'm not saying that it's a perfect movie, but it's timeless because it's written out of time. You know what I mean? So they work with that. They play with that. It's a great mystery. There's so many things about it that are funny, dryly funny, and openly funny, and like ridiculously satirical, and just dumb and serious. And they make it raw. The acting, the hyper stylized things, the overblowing of high school in general, and like, why are none of these kids are in class? What's going on right now? Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. It was a wonderful performance that's easily forgotten. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a killer, and we're going to recognize it someday. He's going to catch an Oscar.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's good in everything he does. Like well, he was nominated for an Oscar, I think, in The Walk. Okay, cool. I believe, right? The Walk. He was nominated for an Oscar. Playing the French dude. But yeah, no, I remembered this being like a movie I watched a lot when I was like in high school, that senior, and I really loved it. And I was trying to remember, like, why did I like this movie so much? Because it's still in my head, right? And that's why it became one of my drunk classic picks. I had it written down on my notebook, and I was like, and I was reading through my stuff, and I was like, you know what? Like, I need to rediscover this movie and figure out why I liked it so much. And I think it's at a time when I was really into that mystery solving, and this was so deep. And it goes, like, there's so many threads that are pulled on in this. And then, of course, you have the end when the Pin just gets his ass whooped by, what is it, Dode? Is that his name? What's his name? No, Tugger. Dode gets shot in the brain. Sorry. Tugger just mollywops him, and you're like, why didn't he just do this the entire time? What did the Pin have, like, to keep him under thumb? What was it? Was it the money? Was it the key? What did it for him? And also, if you really boil it down, this is about a bunch of dudes being jealous that they all like the same girl. Like,
in the end.
And then one girl, ultra jealous that no one felt that way about her.
Wow.
Playing puppet master with all of them.
Yeah.
And, she is the sweet, innocent killer so well. I want to give her Nora Zetner.
Definition of doe-eyed girl.
Yeah. That will shoot you in the back of the head or convince someone else to do it for her. Right? Yeah. JGL was amazing. He was fantastic in this. I already said Megan Good is great. Matt O'Leary, understated as the brain. He was so good, even in the phone conversations. Yeah. Did you ever consider maybe she's on our side, bro? I think she's on our side. The shoes, the constant zoom in on the old man shoes that Joseph Levitt is wearing.
I'll let you figure out what's what. Yeah, very. The shoes were probably like some kind of call out to like the Peregrine Falcon and not Peregrine Falcon, the Maltese Falcon, and those 1940s dramas and stuff.
There's a lot to like in this movie. and I'm glad you watched it twice. I did not watch it twice, just once, but I probably should give it another watch. It's free on Amazon right now.
It's beautiful.
But it's like I said, it's a teenage noir, right? That's what it is. It's taking you back, like you said, Josh, the 40s and 50s. You know what? You pushed me over the edge, Josh, with the art aspect of it. Pop 3. I was going to go pop 2. Go ahead, Jordan.
I can't find any flaws. I can't really find any flaws.
Yeah, you guys covered this very well. I'll just point out a couple things that I found really interesting, stood out to me. What kind of school drama department is that?
Oh,
dude.
Yeah, they got a budget, dog.
I was a high school,
With all the people paying to see Megan Good in that clown costume or whatever that was.
I was in high school drama, and dude, I was like, oh my god, what a difference, my experience with that was. Yeah, my thing is too is just he's kind of a goober, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, his character in this movie. And
yeah, he needs that jacket. Every scene where he wasn't wearing the jacket, I'm like,
yeah,
Well, I love that he has to jump up to punch the football player in the face. Yeah. He jumps up.
And he keeps getting hit on by just like these gorgeous girls in school and stuff, and it's like he just cold shoulders all of them, and he just plays it way too cool. It's like, come on, bro.
See? I got issues with Abercrombie and Fitch, see?
My favorite thing about this whole movie was the Kevin Federline Tugger guy, the
muscle. Yeah. What does he call him? The ape? He calls him the...
Yeah, everyone you know could be a Slim Shady Lurkin. And I love when he comes downstairs and there's just a room full of guys all dressed the same way, just watching TV. It's like,
and there's a million of us just like me. Yeah,
that was hilarious. I gotta give it a popcorn and 2 just because it's so it's a good movie. I've already recommended this to like 2 or 3 people. This is good. Definitely go watch this one.
For sure.
I think it's funny that both of you had, like, you said the high school drama department. Josh, you said something in regards to the high school. Like, why is the high school like... Yeah, so what I said, it's funny because I started reading through my notes and I put, what high school is like this at all?
Yeah, but they really eat that up. I mean, every high school movie eats that up. Every show, especially. But like, yeah, they did the same thing. Like, the Brain has an office in the library.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right. On that note, Jordan, what's the first film you'd like to review for us?
Well, I mean, we could just talk about the movie that we both watched that has Kevin Bacon from Maxxxine and Joe Levitt. And Joe Levitt from Brick. This was Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop Part 4. And it was fun. It was fun for a fourth sequel. Man.
I thought it was good. Yeah. I did. I don't know why I liked it so much, but I was like, you know what? I like this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're wrong. And if someone was like, "Oh, I hated it," I don't know if I'd tell them they're wrong either. It was a good fourth installment nostalgia sequel. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was really good in this movie. Kevin Bacon was, I don't know,
obvious right away.
Yeah, for sure. I love that they address the whole commissioner trope thing because throughout the saga of Beverly Hills Cop, every movie there's always that commissioner that's like, "Oh, you're fired. Why are you doing this? Get out of here.
You get the hell out of here."
And then his buddy throughout the films becomes the commissioner, and he's kind of flip-flopping between the two things. And I just love how they're conscious of that and they address that whole trope of that thing because that always bugs me in these cop movies. Like, why does the commissioner not want crime solved?
What? Well, maybe it's because they're blowing cars up and stuff.
That could have something to do with it. But you know what? All goes away when the start of the blowing up cars scene begins with him convincing somebody that loves hockey that there was a Negro hockey league. Black guys.
Yeah. That was good.
That made me laugh so hard.
That was a great tone setter for the rest of the movie, for the humor. That really sets you at ease for what kind of, like, where Eddie Murphy is at. You know what I mean? In his humor and everything. Eddie's good. the humor isn't consistently sharp throughout. There are moments where it's like, oh, he hasn't lost a beat, and then there's times where it's like, he's a little out of date maybe, or just the dialogue written for him is just a little too on the nose. Like, oh, he's the old guy now. Like, oh, I don't understand these young kids with their TikToks and their
what is that? A cell phone? A cell phone? What is that?
The did you two have intercourse? Had me rolling. Like the word intercourse there was comedically funny. Like that was so funny.
I'm gonna give this a popcorn in 1. It was good. I just feel like it wasn't. I didn't take it. There wasn't anything all that memorable for it from me. It's I don't know. It's just if you like Beverly Hills Cop, if you're having nostalgia for it, you're gonna like this. But otherwise, I wouldn't say this is gonna make. If I watch this and none of the other ones, I wouldn't go back and say, oh, I gotta watch the originals. I probably wouldn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Netflix keeps going for nostalgia, and this time they got it right. They hit all the notes for the nostalgia of the movie, the music, the dialogue, the actors. Everyone was good except for, I don't want to say her by name, but the actress that played Eddie Murphy's daughter was rough in almost every scene she was in. It was really hard to watch her. I don't know what she's been in before. I've seen her before, but this was hard to watch every scene she was in. It took me out of it. Every time she had a scene, her acting was just really bad, really forced, I thought. And she's acting with people that are way above her status. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you got Kevin Bacon, Eddie Murphy. Like she's undercast. I don't know, what would you call it? Overcast is what it is. She was not on their level as far as this movie is concerned. And the henchman, even the henchman was funny. The rich white people in Beverly Hills, they do a little play on how it's changed a little bit. I love the cartel aspect. Luis Guzman was good.
Luis Guzman.
Yeah, he was good again. We had a cameo from an upcoming Netflix film. If you read Twitter, if you're into like film at all, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out. Yeah, we get a cameo from that.
Yep,
and that was hilarious. I don't know what we're gonna do here, guys. I gotta call my lawyer. Go get him. There's a phone in there. I just liked it. I just liked the movie. It's a pop 1 for me. I just gotta ask you, Jordan, since you watched it, how is a former pilot so bad at flying?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
That was a lot.
I gotta ask: are the original 2 white guys in it? The cool guys?
Yeah.
One of them's passed, isn't he?
No, they're both in it.
Oh, they're both in it? That's great.
So is the other actor. What's his name? Jordan, that helps him in the mansion? Helps him find the mansion?
Serge.
Yes, Serge.
Serge is
in it? Yeah, Serge makes a comeback. And he's really funny.
Look at that! That's so good.
Yeah,
I
love that.
Fantastic.
That was one of the most progressive comedic scenes in the history of ever. And how do you guys feel about this? I saw him. He was doing promos. Eddie was doing, my buddy Eddie. He was doing promos, and he said that before Beverly Hills, in his opinion, he said there wasn't really an action comedy. There was comedies with action, but there wasn't really an action comedy. And then he said after Beverly Hills Cop, now you get the loaded weapons, now you get this, and now you get that. What do you think about that?
Did Collision Course with Mr. Miyagi.
No one's heard of that. Move on.
Jay Leno come out before this? I thought. I don't know. I don't think that's true, but maybe of its era. It might have been the first of its era.
The popularization in that era, yeah.
I don't think I'm old enough to recollect a time before action comedies.
Recollect. That's interesting. Yeah, because he was saying before that it was all Rambos and... Yeah, he was saying, before that you had action where it was explosion, big guy, gun, Clint Eastwood, and then you had comedies. When you had Police Academy, but Police Academy is not really an action comedy. It's a comedy with cops. So I don't know. It's an interesting point.
Comedy was The Mummy. Brendan Fraser.
Like 5? Right.
I saw it in theater. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I fell asleep.
So Josh, what's your first?
Oh, I watched a cool little movie. I've been watching a lot on YouTube Shorts over and over. For some reason, it just pops into my algo all the time.
Yes.
Moneyball, Brad Pitt, and Jonah Hill. I think just about everyone's seen this. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's
Another
solid.
Oscar nominated.
It's a solid sports movie that is a different kind of sports movie. It's different, and it's not because the premise is different. It's the focus is different. It's about how they revolutionized baseball using math and using statistics and using it economically versus
Analytics.
going by politics and charisma and attitude and using some sort of insight that you might magically have. They just go with this, who gets on base, who hits runs, who does this. Like, that's what we need. Yep. And cool story, very cool story. All the little stories in it, all the scenes. This is a movie that is, because I've seen it so many times on YouTube, it's so piecemeal. Every scene is a damn good scene. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they really constructed the movie well. I don't know if I'm troubled. It's not like the movie fell off, but like the ending isn't why you're watching the movie, because there isn't really one. There isn't really an ending.
Yeah, you're such a loser, Dad. You're such a loser, Dad. That's how it ends, the daughter.
But I really enjoyed it. I like to see Brad Pitt doing a type of role that, he's played a certain type sort of like this before, but he's just a regular guy, and Jonah Hill gets to act in a really cool way. You get to see Dustin Seymour Hoffman briefly, but he nails
Dustin Seymour Hoffman.
Huston B. More Gloffman.
Philip
Did I say his name?
Or Dustin Hoffman?
Damn it!
Dustin Hoffman.
I do it every time.
It's a lighter.
Sylvester Schwarzenegger was really good in this movie. Philip Dustin Hoffman he was a perfect pour in this. His little scene in it was great. I love the movie. I really do. I love it. I give it a popcorn and 1. Great sports movie, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to people tell you how much they love a thing. I love cars. I love drawing. I love anime. I love sports. Whatever it is.
I love Lamp.
It's hard to explain your love. It's hard to explain the way it eats your heart. And this is a heart-eating movie that really shows in different ways. Like, baseball's not just a game. You know what I mean? Shut up. So that's cool. Popcorn 1.
Paul D. Podesta, the character that Jonah Hill plays, he went on to be the analytics expert for the Browns. So it doesn't work everywhere you go. There's also a question. Is this Chris Pratt's start at these athletic action roles when he's the baseball player in this?
Wasn't he in a football TV show?
No, he's in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
No, before that. He was in like a kid show, like a WB show, CW show.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
He was the football guy in the CW show, yeah.
I don't know. I remember he was overweight while he was doing Parks and Rec, and then he all of a sudden we see him in this, and then Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's starting to get like into shape, and then he became kind of an action star for a while, right? Is he still
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
he's a voice actor now, dude. He's got another one coming soon. He's the voice actor right now, and nobody knows why.
Because he's Chris Pratt. Well, the first one I did was a new movie on Amazon called Space Cadet, starring Emma Roberts, where she plays, the very intelligent, happy-go-lucky party girl that you don't really know why she's a party girl because she grew up super smart, like Future Leaders of America style, space camp, all that stuff. And then it's like, because her mom died. Spoiler alert, I guess. But it's not really a spoiler alert because it happens right at the very beginning of the movie. And her life goes off path because her mother was her driving force. We've seen it all before. Overall, this movie's not bad, except for one person. Sebastian Yarta plays Todrick Spencer, and he is impossible to watch. Impossible to watch. They have, I can't think of the British actor's name in this, but it's like British, oh my gosh, Glenn Powell. Like British Glenn Powell. is in this movie. And I can't think of his name, but he is okay in it, but he basically plays Glenn Powell in every other movie in this movie. So it was basically like they wanted to cast Glenn Powell. They couldn't get Glenn Powell, so they got this other gentleman whom I'm not doing justice. But she's an ambitious inventor that never finished college and somehow gets into NASA's space race program to be an astronaut. I'm not going to tell you how, because that's a spoiler. That's a real spoiler. But one thing I can tell you, one trope I'm really tired of is the fake-ass anger that people have towards somebody else doing well, right? Like, that you're not in direct competition with that's supposed to help you. Like, at first I got it. Like, I got that trope. Okay, they're in direct competition. But eventually, this is it. Like, they're going together. You should be rooting on the people you have to do the job with. You don't, like, still hate them when they're saving your life or whatever. And somehow you just keep carrying this stupid trope out. And I was over it. I thought it was dumb. I don't like the hater trope. Like, I'm going to hate just to hate because that's my role in this movie. I'm a hater. It's stupid. Overall, it was funny. It was entertaining. It is shades of The Rocket Man, if you remember that movie by Disney years and years ago. Not completely, like a little bit more serious than that, but it definitely has shades of The Rocket Man. I give it a pop 1. Emma Roberts, I think this is you. This is the cute, the cute, funny, intelligent woman that's, you know, leading the show and uplifting everyone else. That's her role. So a pop 1. Jordan, what's next for you?
Well, I had to watch Beverly Hills Cop 2. One, we all know one was one of our drunk classics. And with Axel F out, I was like, you know what? I haven't seen part 2. So I went and watched that. And Bridget Nielsen was just a very unserious celebrity of this time, I think.
Brigitte.
Yeah, she just I don't know. I'm not gonna, I know. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to go. I don't want to dig on her too hard. But yeah, no, she's just an odd choice. Eddie is really sharp. He picks up right where he left off from 1 to 2 as far as the wit and everything. Once again, just like Axel F, the dialogue though is just really. Well, this one is just really bad. It's worse. It's bad. Worse than Axel F. It's the same movie as Beverly Hills Cop 1, just with a bigger budget, so it just got way more gimmicky. You know, of course, they go to the Playboy Mansion.
Explosions.
Yeah, they go to the Playboy Mansion, of course, where there is a guy in a suit just kind of doing like a flailing around dance while there's women playing volleyball in bikinis and stuff, playmates. There's just random scenes that's just like they're just trying to spend money here. Like, oh, we got to get the Playboy Mansion, and this is Beverly Hills, right? Gilbert Gottfried is in this, and that is one of a very good sequence of this movie. I love him. Gilbert Gottfried, R.I.P., did not get the respect he deserved. And then I just
knew how good he was.
Yeah, in a sense.
I think he knew.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of other comedians knew too. Like, I'm sure he was respected by his public.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried knew he was a killer. Yeah.
I love how, you know, the action sequencers has got to be the big shootout with these movies, and his buddy just accidentally RPGs a moving truck without looking at it, and that's when I was just like, yeah, no, this one's a popcorn for sure.
Wow. Okay, well, now you have to watch Beverly Hills Cop 3, because that's one of the movies that I got on the black box, the cable that I watched over and over. Part 3. They go to, like, Universal or whatever.
I heard that was really
fake Universal.
Like, I heard that one's, like, the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
I've seen the ending. I've seen the very ending, and I actually did try to watch it. I kind of nixed it, because I tried to watch it, and I saw the first 10 minutes, and it's guys just doing... they're doing like a dance battle in a chop shop, and I was like, what is happening here? But yeah.
Oh, Electric Boogaloo 3?
Yeah.
All right, Josh, what was on your agenda?
I'll tell you what I watched. I think it's just called Brats, or maybe it's The Brats, but it's Brats on Hulu, and it's a documentary about the Brat Pack. You guys aware of who the Brat Pack?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're not, folks, in the 80s, there was a huge influx of teen movies. John Hughes and people along these lines, creators, made these movies. They're for a teen audience. They're about real teen life. They're a teenager experience. Well, I don't know how that's going to turn out on the feed, but that sounded like a dragon fire.
But, I couldn't understand what you said there.
The documentarian guy, the host of the show, is the dude from Weekend at Bernie's, the funny one.
Yeah.
So I guess he was in the Brat Pack. I didn't know that. But it's a very not exactly clear amount of Hollywood actors at the time who were around their 20s, who were in all these John Hughes-esque movies. Mm-hmm. And Rob Lowe was among them. Demi Moore was among them. But there's also like ancillary characters. A lot of people say the girl from Dirty Dancing was in the Brat Pack, but she wasn't.
Yeah, Jennifer Grey, right? Is that her name, Jennifer Grey?
But she was not. No, she was. But there was someone who was not. Anyway, there's
Ringwald
all those. Ringwald was not. That's what it was. Ringwald is not. Not
16 Candles.
That is
Pretty in Pink. Breakfast Club.
Wait, that is exclusively who I think about.
Excuse me.
When I think of the Brat Pack.
It's not Ringwald. I'm thinking the one from Dirty Dancing is not in the Brat Pack. She was considered though. So there's there's outside people. The dude from that Charlie Sheen movie or TV show, three men.
Oh yeah, Quacky from Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, he's considered Brat Pack, but he doesn't consider himself Brat Pack. Anyway, it's stupid. Yeah. The whole thing is about how stupid it was. Like they were just given this moniker to define them as this like young generation coming up in the storm and blah blah blah. But they were just actors trying to act. They didn't want that name. Like most of them did not react well to it and try to separate themselves from it as much as possible. So anyway, the movie's about. He goes to all these different actors' homes and talks to them years later. So Emilio Estevez is there. Demi Moore's there. Not everyone gets to talk to him or wants to talk about it. Most everyone's like, yeah, I didn't like it. I don't want to talk about it. This is lame. Like, sure, like we got a bunch of popularity, but none of it was good popularity. And a lot of directors and writers didn't want to work with us because we were Brat Pack. You know what I mean? So it wasn't exactly good for anyone's career. It was just a name that some journalists flippantly wrote. And it was just interesting how Reputation works. And if you have that nostalgia for the 80s, I particularly didn't. I don't really know much about them. I had heard of them, but it's way beyond my time. Yeah, whatever. I give it a popcorn.
Popcorn. Hitting the reverso button. Reverso. Going back, I'm surprised neither one of you mentioned Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's name in Brick. Like, I really thought one of you two was going to mention it.
I forgot his name.
Yeah,
his name was Brandon Frye.
Was it really?
No fucking way. His name was Brandon Frye?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about it, and they're like, yeah, Frye. And I was like, Frye? And I was like, wait, wasn't his name Brendan Frye? And I looked up the cast, and it's like Brendan Frye. It's not spelled the same, but yeah, it's Brendan Frye. But yeah, like so that maybe that also played a role in me really liking
Brendan like the way your wife says your name, not the real way your name's. Okay.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I was like, oh, maybe this played a role in why I like this film. Anyway, next movie for me was Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic, and I'm going to start by this. Like, we don't appreciate that's like the Kurt Cobain of her genre of the blues of jazz, like. She had banger after banger after banger after banger. She was literally like, if you watch this, she was very much similar to Taylor Swift before Taylor Swift existed. Really. I mean, go ahead.
Careful.
No, not in the essence of pop there, big guy. I meant in the essence of how her process. Like, she had to live it.
It's a bloodthirsty fan base. Be careful what you say.
Both of them. No. The process, though, of, like, living through the circumstance before she could write her music, right? She was not a pop star at all, by any means, and she says that quite a bit. But that process of living it, writing songs about what you've lived through, and maybe even earlier stages, Taylor Swift is what I'm thinking of. Maybe not current, super pop
star.
Actual
songwriter, yeah. Like singer, songwriter, yeah.
And it does a good job in this of showing, like, it'll play the song or she'll sing the song, but show how she got those lyrics, and it's easy to associate. Oh, damn! So that's what that song actually means. or that's what Back to Black comes from, or that's what her first hit when she says, "Are you a man or a lady boy?" Like in the film, it lines up like that made her break up with her first major boyfriend because the song was about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, wait a second, the song's about me, like the discovery moment of that, but it does. It trails the origins of each song and how she wrote each song, and it's very in your face. Like, it's not subtle. It's like, hey, this is how I write these songs. What happened?
Keep going. Go on.
I said it's very not subtle.
You said it. You said origins.
Origins.
Oranges. It's pronounced oranges.
But yeah, no, the paparazzi really sucks. I mean, they killed Amy Winehouse and they killed the Princess Di, apparently.
Yeah, fuck them.
But the paparazzi really contribute to her depression and her feeling alone and not being able to leave her house and being locked up, leading to, like, she was already a heavy drinker, but it really led to alcoholism as a form of escape. It was rough. The guy doesn't help at all. It's kind of the lead you down the path of harder and harder core drugs because of who you're hanging out with. It paints her in a very positive light. You could tell that her people had a hand in this. You get some of the nitty gritty, but not as much as you might want. And you get where she got the inspiration for that beehive hairdo from. A lot of her look, her aesthetic came from her grandmother. And
wonderful.
It really plays hard on it. And then it highlights that was the last hairdo her grandmother gave her, was the beehive before her grandmother died.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so it was overall a good movie. Like I said, banging soundtrack. The actress, I think, is getting hate for no reason. I think she did a fine job. It's what are you supposed to do? You're playing a powerhouse, someone that's beloved. But yeah, like Amy Winehouse, like I said, she definitely belongs in that 27 club. After hearing all of her songs, she is a firm member of it because she had banger after banger after banger. Like when you watch this movie, you're like, dang, that's a good song. Dang, that's a good song. Oh, yeah, I actually do love
every
that song.
one of her songs is wonderful. She is such a good writer and a mind-blowing singer. You hear her a cappella on some YouTube video, whatever, singing. Listen to her sing Valerie, like a cappella. It's amazing. Amazing.
So, popcorn in one, but I think everyone should watch it. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Jordan?
Well, I watched a little rom-com on Netflix called Family Affair with Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman, and also the girl from The Kissing Booth. She's in a bunch of these little teeny bopper rom-com films. She played, what's her name? Joey King. And let me just say, Zac Efron is a movie star. The daughter is his...
Zac Efron?
Zac Efron, yes.
Origins. You said Jack Efron.
Oh, I might have just said it really fast. Zac Efron is a movie star. He's a jerk. Joey King. And Zac Efron doesn't play the jerk movie star that well just because he just has just too nice. His eyes are too nice. He has nice, like nice man.
Zac Efron?
Yeah, like he doesn't
He's got murder eyeballs.
Does he?
He looks like a murderer, dude.
Doesn't he play Dahmer?
No.
He does. No, he plays he did not Dahmer. Was it Dahmer?
No,
Ted Bundy.
not Dahmer. Ted Bundy, yeah.
Bundy. Yeah, he's got murder face, dude.
All right. Well, yeah, so he plays the jerk, and the daughter, Joey King, is his assistant, and the mom of the assistant girl is Nicole Kidman. And he treats the daughter like a jerk. She quits. He goes to house to try to win her back as his assistant, meets the mom. They end up hooking up, and this love affair begins. And it's like, man, don't date my mom. You're a jerk, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's this whole movie. Let me tell you what. This whole movie, the mom is wrong. She's very wrong throughout this whole movie. She's a terrible mother. Don't do this. There's no likable character in this movie at all. Everybody kind of sucks, except for Kathy Bates, who plays the grandmother in this movie, and she is fantastic. Yeah, she's fantastic. It's something, this is like one step above a really bad Hallmark movie. It's kind of a Christmas movie. So it was just also a weird time for it to come out. If this came out around the holidays, I'd be like, okay, this was kind of a vibe, but it wasn't. Popcorn.
All right.
Popcorn. And lastly, I watched Independence Day in honor of it being our American Independence Day this last week.
To be an American.
Starring Will Smith, who I don't really like right now, but it was old Will Smith. It was pre-slap Will Smith, pre-crazy man Will Smith,
wasn't it? That was his first movie, right?
I think so.
No, was it?
Maybe.
I think it was.
Maybe.
I think it might have been.
It was definitely his breakout movie for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'd only seen one scene in this movie over and over and over for some reason, and it was him flying through the desert, being chased by a spaceship, and then he punches an alien in the face and knocks it out. Yeah, that's the only scene I've seen in this movie a bunch of times. So I decided to watch this, and it's Jeff Goldblum's in it, and he's riding a bicycle through the office, just being Jeff Goldblum. Throughout the movie. Company. Yep, he's just very Jeff Goldblum throughout. The acting in this movie, top to bottom, is very bad. It's very just cheesy. It's it just doesn't age well. It's the characters they come up with in this movie are just ridiculous, just absolutely. The president is flying. They allowed the president to fly a jet to go attack the spaceship. Like the whole movie, they're like, hey, we have to protect the president. Move the president. And then at the end, when they actually have a plan that can rebuild society, they're like,
let's one of those planes.
Yeah, let's put him at the center of the formation to go kill him. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's an earthquake going, or they think it's an earthquake when the aliens are attacking, and there's a lady that goes, it's the mom, Vivica Fox, and Will Smith are hooking up in the bed, and the kid goes, Mom, it's an earthquake, and she goes, nah, it's not even a 4-pointer, and there's pictures falling off the wall, and they're just don't even go check on the kid. They're just whatever, yeah, get out of here. It's just ridiculous character.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
How would it make you feel? How would it make you feel to know that when Old Man flew his plane into the exhaust pipe, I cried as a kid in theaters? How would that make you feel?
Quaid?
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Quaid, yeah. It has great...
He's a hero, son. I know.
It has great CG and effects for its time. I think it might have, right? It did.
Yeah.
It did. This probably blew people away. So that's a really good thing it's got for it. It's an iconic movie. It's definitely just something I think you should watch and you have to watch. It's kind of fun. It's just over the top fun, and it's just the ending though. It's really this is what makes it not age so well. How do we stop this thing? Oh, a computer virus. Duh. A computer virus will topple this advanced civilization that can build spaceships that fly and all these laser tractor beams and crap. But
that
they
was
don't have a firewall.
Shout out to War of the Worlds. That's what that
was. They don't have Norton antivirus, and that's what stops their plan.
Yeah.
Popcorn and 1 for this.
Pop and 1.
Hey, let me tell you what I did, jerks. I watched The Bear season 2. I watched season 1 last week. I watched season 2 this week. Some of the greatest television I've ever seen. Yeah. And you told me that the Christmas episode was the one. And 7 fishes. And while I do agree with you, and I'll come right back to it, there was multiple episodes that were just incredible. Forks was one of the greatest things I ever saw, where you see Cousin go through staging and in front of the house. That was such a moment for me because that's very real to me. I've worked in a place similar, not quite that level, but we take this shit seriously, dude. We're working, and you better iron your shirt kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And I really give a crap about something, that whole thing. The Copenhagen scenes, the movie or episode, whatever, so good. The finale, when he said, Oliver Platt, shout out Oliver Platt. Yeah. When he told the story of complete and utter failure, and then it happened in the show. He said, let me tell you exactly how this might go. And then it happened bit for bit. And in the end, he blamed the wrong thing, and it messed up everything else because he blamed it having a girlfriend. It's nothing to do with the girlfriend. It's nothing to do with Barton, whatever that kid's name was. It's you messing up that pass and not calling the fridge guy. That was so well done. All the writing was so good. Now let's get back to 7 Fishes, the Christmas episode. I got a couple notes, but I want to say that episode, it would take very little work to just make that a Broadway play. Standalone, absolutely perfect. Now, I said there's an episode of The Leftovers. I think it's season 2. It's the episode where he goes to the afterlife. I'm not sure if that's what it actually happened, but it was a very artistic, very metaphorical, fabulistic, wonderful. I call it the greatest thing I ever saw on television. This rivals that. I don't know if it beats it, but it definitely rivals one of the greatest things I ever saw on television.
Leftovers is a great show.
Now, a quote I love from that episode: "The upside of barf is that you get some peace and quiet." Love that. And then I wanted to point out when they're talking to him about Claire Bear, all three of those guys are like, "What? Claire Bear glasses came off," and like, why are you getting so defensive? What's going on? That's exactly how Frye talks to me. All three of those guys together is Frye talking to me, and I'm like, whoa! I didn't know what? Okay, now it's a thing. You said it's a thing. Now it's a thing. Okay, now I'm mad. Not every time, but there's times when Frye, he triggers me exactly the way that Carmy got triggered. Like, what is happening right now? Now I'm mad. Anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis, the real Jamie Lee Curtis, not Jamie Foxx. The way she was buttering the bread with her fingers and like getting just so sloshed, and just everything about that episode was so beautiful. I was laughing. I was tense.
John Barenthal and Bob Odenkirk. That interaction across the table.
Oof.
Oh my gosh, dude! Everything about it, like every single thing, was so good. John Barenthal was great. I'm glad he got a full episode because I love it when he's utilized as an actor. He's one of my favorite actors. Great popcorn in 3, just like season 1. Can't wait for 3.
Yeah, and you kind of see where Sugar, Abby Elliott's character, gets that not great relationship with her mother in that episode as well. Like I thought that they did a great job there. So I did Bear season 3, and I'll be quick as well because we are running short on time. I plowed through it because I knew Josh was going to do season 2. I don't want to give too much. There is an episode that really dives into Liza Colon. I'm trying to think of her character's name. The older woman chef from Orange is the New Black. So she has it goes into her life and how she ends up at the Bear, right? Making the Chicago beefs or Italian beefs, pardon me. And she has a scene with John Barenthal that it's so good and it means so much. And it's so true to how life really goes for most of the population, for most of the world. And it's kind of like, as you get older, when you're young, everybody wants you, you're so hungry. And do you lose it, or does just nobody want you anymore as you get older? And it was intense. It was an intense episode. Episode 8 is tough, but there's a great quote where they say, I think it's Olivia Colman says, "Isn't it crazy that literally simultaneously all of life's events are happening between these 4 walls?" And I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's such a prolific statement because it's very true. If you think about everywhere you are, someone's going through crisis, someone's going through immense happiness, someone's going through sadness, someone's going through anxiety. It's just nuts when you actually think about it. Episode 3 is just hardcore. Again, I want to go back to Olivia Colman. She's fantastic in this, playing the chef that he learns everything from. And what's the guy that used to do soup? And I got his name wrong last week.
Yeah.
Jack from Community.
What's his name?
I called him Colin Quinn, and it's not Colin Quinn. It's
God,
Colin Jost.
I knew it. And
I called him Jost. Yeah, now I've just called him Colin Quinn. Yeah. But he is in the Bear, and he plays the biggest a-hole ever, and it only intensifies in season 3. He only gets worse, and he has an interaction with the Bear. And it's bad. And it goes in his favor again. Like, Jeremy loses it again in this scene. Like, and I'm just like, man, to just keep taking L's from someone you hate that much, even as you're being recognized as one of the best chefs in Chicago, has got to suck.
Boy, yeah.
Popcorn in 3. Popcorn.
I forgot to just mention how, like, they brought it around with, like, Homeboy in Copenhagen talking about, I was working with the best chef in the world and I just had to like keep up with him. Then you find out it was Carm. Like, and so like that's like 3 references, multiple people saying he's the best chef. He's the best chef. But they don't say it directly. They just like sort of hint at it. That's beautiful.
You
Anyway,
are absolutely gonna love season 3, episode 1, because it retouches everything from just a slightly different, just a little more detail, slightly different point of view. It's really good. You're gonna love it.
I love that.
All right.
So let's get to this drunk classic, eh?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I gotta ask, do we want to do a little bit serious or a little bit funny?
A little bit of Monica in my life.
A little bit funny.
A little bit funny? Okay, easy peasy. I'm going to tell you what there is a, we're going to guess. There's a Rambo reference.
Okay.
There is slapstick humor.
Okay.
There's
The
a Rambo
creator
reference in
is
Axel F.
Canadian.
It is, I know what it is.
What is it?
Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, you thought? No, it's UHS. UHF. Starring Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh,
I've never seen this.
Cool. All right, I've never seen this either.
You know that? Oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's cornball, but at the time it was sort of fresh. It bombed in the box office. If it even went to theaters, I don't know. But it's funny, and I saw it in high school, and I loved it. So
nice.
All right.
UHF.
So UHF. UHF is Josh's drunk classic, and our butter on top will be a space race film. No, I am not talking to you, Tom Hanks. It is not Apollo 13. This is Fly Me to the Moon, the fictional retelling of the moon landing.
Oh, with ScarJo.
ScarJo and Channing.
ScarJo's all you need to know.
That's
okay.
I support that. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Popcorn and Beers each and every week. We are working hard to get you more clips so you can see what it is we're watching. We are pinpointing when you can get the review you want, and we're drinking beers and giving you reviews. Remember, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube at the Sad Fan Podcast Network, and you can find us on Twitter at Popcorn and Beers. Please follow, subscribe, rate, and review. We will see you all next week.